You're welcome to join me on the 6:15 News. I'm Kejang Henry at Timby. Let's begin with our top stories. 1,300 cubic meters of fuel arrived in the market after scarcity hit Cameroon in 48 hours. And prior to the distribution, Cameroonians in major metropolises like Yaoundé, DOUALA and Bafoussam had gone through challenging moments due to the absence of fuel. Top story. You can hook up with it on our social media handles, on Canal, the International, on YouTube and on Facebook. And I got on our lead story. It was a tense atmosphere in Cameroon's economic capital, DOUALA, as car owners and motorbikers actually scrambled for fuel as scarcity actually hit the market, a situation most of them have described as very frustrating this morning. Maureen D was at the filling stations and now report.
The scramble for fuel is real at this filling station. With jerrycans and plastic bottles, DOUALA residents want to get fuel at all costs as the filling stations have run dry. Hundreds of people queued up at various filling stations in Cameroon's economic hub this Monday, December 11, as motorcycle and car owners lined up for the available quantity in the reservoir. Many have spent close to 6 hours on the spot. We have been suffering since the start of last week, and the only option is to queue up or simply abandon and park your vehicle. I have been standing here since yesterday, yet I have not still succeeded. I was here since 5 a.m. and up to the moment I have not had fuel, I have not eaten, and I'm running out of budget. Those who could not support the deal parked their cars along the roads. With a high demand, filling stations were obliged to embark on fuel rationing.
I wanted to brought maybe the one of 5,000, but they give me the one for 2,000. I don't even sure that this 2,000 will take me where I'm going. It's something disastrous because I went to the base, the base at here at Bonanjo to get fuel. There was no fuel, so I came not far from the base at Tradex to get fuel. There is no fuel, so I came here to Bokom. They said those with cards can get fuel. We don't have cards, so we don't know our way forward or the way backward. So we don't know how to do. We don't know we can get fuel. The only thing that you can do is always to go and park the car. We really need fuel. We are crying for help. If the government can see into this issue,
it will equally impact on the cost of the necessities.
Thanks very much, Maureen. It was equally red in Yaoundé, Cameroon's political capital, as residents actually woke up in frustration as scarcity hit the city. And so the movement was extremely difficult as we were gathering from our reporter. Most workers had to do the job, or the journey rather, to work on foot as we are gathering from High-Saint-Chair.
The frustrations are enormous this Monday in the nation's political capital as many woke up to the inconveniences of fuel scarcity. The roadsides crowded throughout the day, with passengers in search of taxis and commercial motorbike riders, and even with the geometric increase in the cost of transportation, getting an available ride is a difficult task.
Du coup, ça devient problématique. Il faudrait qu'on trouve une solution vraiment parce que le commun du Camerounais qui sort le matin pour aller au travail, il est en route jusqu'à 9h, il n'a pas de taxi.
Bon, le frais de taxi a augmenté, ça a presque doublé. Parce que le tarif dont je dois payer normalement 300 francs, je suis en train de proposer 600 francs. On ne me regarde pas et tu ne trouves même pas de taxi. C'est pas facile.
I've been here for almost 1 hour 30 minutes. I work at the Monte-Chapelle Billy. It has not been easy. I'm willing to pay double, even if it's to pay 1,000 francs. There's no taxi. Even if it's to take depot, there is still no taxi. So it's really so much challenging for us.
Most drivers are on dry tanks and forced to park.
Voilà mon taxi garé là. Depuis, il n'y a pas de carburant. Depuis là, il n'y a pas de carburant. Donc ça ne va pas vraiment.
Quand même ma voiture depuis avant-hier. C'est pas dit qu'on pense à l'élever, on a poussé là-bas de l'élever jusqu'à ici là.
In case of an alert of the precious liquid, like was the case in this filling station at the Santa Barbara neighborhood this morning, many go rushing with containers to secure a small quantity. But with hundreds coming at the same time, the workers couldn't withstand the pressure and had to suspend the services against the wishes of the desperate consumers.
Oh, thanks, Hyacin. Unfortunate there, and with the country grappling with fuel scarcity, commuters had no option but to sue for alternative transport means to get to their respective destinations. Christy Ari Aya says it was a Herculean task as people had to take all other means to make sure they make it for their job site.
People on foot trying to get to their various destinations. The scarcity of fuel has impacted transportation, leaving many commuters with no choice but to rely on their food, some on tricycle.
Because of say motor no they say carburant no dey for DOUALA. Since today we dey for village, where no dey, we don't call it for village. Now we dey carry for here. Motor no dey. Now I want to try for go for market now. Where no dey.
I have been standing here for more than 30 minutes. It's so difficult for me to get a bike or taxi. It's really affecting me. The fuel scarcity has created a state of chaos in the economy hub of Cameroon. People can be seen scrambling for the limited quantity. This situation has led to an increase in transportation fare. Passengers are forced to pay more than their usual price. Basically increased to 500 francs.
They pay from here to Marché de Chèvre.
The prices has really increased. I usually pay 1,000 francs to Marché de Chèvre, but now they are asking me 2,000 francs.
First and now, I don't know.
The scarcity of fuel has not only disrupted the daily routines of individuals, but also poses a threat to business activities in DOUALA. Public transportation, logistics, and other industries that heavily rely on fuel are experiencing significant setbacks.
Very much, Christy. And in the face of this fuel shortage, the government has made available some 13,000 cubic liters of fuel that is already en route to some of the major metropolises like DOUALA, Yaoundé, and Bafoussam. And so Abu Gladys Dibang went to the Cameroon's petroleum depot to find out how much has been done to arrest the situation. Ambo.
A long queue of tankers at the petroleum depot SDP in DOUALA, December 11, 2023. They are all waiting to be filled with fuel in order to supply the various gas stations around the country. The scramble to obtain fuel comes a couple of days after filling stations went dry. The reasons for the scarcity, according to Cameroon's Water Resources and Energy Minister, is as a result of disruption in supply provoked by delay in the arrival of 3 ships transporting fuel, precisely super, due to unfavorable weather conditions which interrupted the ship-to-ship loading of the said ships for 4 days at the hub of Lomé. One of the ships with 13,000 cubic liters of super has arrived at DOUALA. Conformity and standardization controls have been carried out and distribution is already being done by the Cameroon Petroleum Depot (ACDP), responsible for storage and distribution of petroleum products. The company told reporters that filling stations are already being refueled and the product will be made available. At press time, tankers were en route to Yaoundé, the capital city. This means motorists, car owners, and those who use fuel for their daily activities can comfortably procure super by Tuesday, December 12, 2023.
And fuel scarcity has become a recurrent phenomenon in the country. And as Ambo Gladys Dibang is going to report, this scarcity has always paralyzed business activities across the country. And this situation, most of the times, always towards the end of the year. Ambo Gladys Diban comes back to the recurrent scarcity.
This is not the first time Cameroon is experiencing fuel shortage this 2023. In January, many cities were hit by fuel scarcity, paralyzing activities. In spite of government's measures to ensure availability at all times, a year hardly goes by without the country hit by energy crisis. Recently, the Ukrainian war was blamed for the shortages. This time around, government blames the weather condition for delaying the arrival of ships, which is said interrupted ship-to-ship loading of the product. Of the 3 ships, only one has so far arrived. Marketers and transporters have confirmed the availability of the product.
The government is trying his best, the marketers are trying their best, and we, the transporters, we are trying our best to satisfy the need of each and everyone in this country. So, there is fuel scarcity sometimes, but you have to check. Is it taking that much time? Most especially, these fuel scarcities arrive during the weekends. And as I'm telling you right now, all the ships are on their road to supply all the fuel stations and all the depots.
But the real situation remains preoccupying. Marketers are said to be suffocating at moment as government is still owing them subsidy and equalization arrears. However, the marketers keep importing the quantity they can to satisfy demand, except for the fact that the letter of credit always remains an issue to battle with. Minister of Water Resources and Energy, in a release signed, assures the population of the effective arrival this week of 2 other ships containing super. It also reassures consumers that the country will be adequately supplied throughout the end-of-year festive period. It is reported that marketers provide just 30% of fuel and 70% is expected to be stocked for security purposes, but this is certainly not respected reason for the recurrent fuel shortages.
And from the fuel shortage, we shift to something different. This time, some opposition political parties in Cameroon have expressed their readiness to sue for political alliance, get towards power conquest when come 2025, when the electorates will be called to the polls for the presidential election. A number of them have voiced their willingness to move into an alliance with Maurice Kamto, who just won the election as the president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement during the last weekend convention. Details with Heisencher.
At the center of the third ordinary convention of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement were much talks on the coalition of opposition parties to overthrow President Paul Biya in 2025 through the ballot box. The other leaders of the opposition outfits, like Prince Ekoso of the United Socialist Democratic Party, Jean-Michel Ninche of Front for Change in Cameroon, Tomainon Damjoya of the UDC, and others throwing their weight behind Kamto.
Au Cameroun, le professeur Kamto,
as the lone presidential candidate, officially availed him.
This convention was held, and again today, for a new dynamic. I have a mission of being now on the march. Election.
The national president of the CRM also sent a clarion call for other stakeholders to join forces for a possible alternation of power in Cameroon. And unlike in 2020, where they boycotted municipal and legislative elections, Maurice Kamto reiterates that the opposition party is ready for all upcoming elections and at any time.
And that draws the curtain for the 6:15 edition of the news. With me, Kejang Henry Atimbe, thanking you for being there with us, and take the rendezvous for tomorrow. Good day.